Welcome to another Telltale Books video. I'm Greg, and I'm continuing my Michael Moorcock Sojan series with the short story titled Sojan and the Sons of the Snake God, which of course comes from this paperback, originally published in June 21st, 1958 issue of Tarzan Adventures magazine, which Moorcock edited at that time. This is number 5 in the Sojan the Swordsman series. And so we're not far from being done. There's one more after this, total of 6 stories. In this story, Sojan has left his service to Hatnar and is looking for mercenary employment in Dar-im-Jak, having heard that they would be invaded by armies from Forsh Mai. And so of course they do hire him on, and the action flows from there. I won't spoil the rest of the story. The stories do seem to get better as we go along, but they're all so very short, and they lack much in the way of detail. They're very simple, very quick. You don't get a lot of description, you don't get a lot of detail. This could have been a very interesting story if more had been added to it and made it longer and put more detail and just fleshed it out a bit. And Moorcock may have been writing these just to fill certain pages that he had blank and had nothing else to put there. And so he may only have had a certain amount of room that he could fill, and so he had to keep them short enough that he didn't go over, because he didn't have any extra, he couldn't conjure up another page out of anywhere. So that very possibly could be the explanation of why these things are so simple. Or it could be that, I don't know this magazine. I've never seen an issue of it. Maybe it was aimed at a very, very young audience. And that could be why they were kept so simple, that they didn't want to make it too long or too complicated for, 10-year-old kids that have short attention spans. Good ideas going on in these stories. The writing gets better with each new story. This still isn't something I would recommend that because it isn't currently in print, you can't just get an easy ebook. You got to track down this paperback or the original Tarzan Adventures magazine. And it's, this didn't cost me much, but I imagine those Tarzan Adventure magazines, if they're in decent condition, are going to set you back quite a bit. And I just don't think, even for somebody that really likes Elric or something, I don't think these are worth going to that length to track them down and try and read them. This is, if you want to read them, this paperback's the way to go, because like I say, I didn't pay that much for this. But it's not currently in print. You got to find a used copy, which may take a little bit to find it, but they're out there. I found one in really nice shape. So I would only recommend to the Sojan Completist, and that is number 5. Number 6 is Sojan and the Devil Hunters of Norge. That'll be my next Michael Moorcock video, and the last Sojan video. I hope you'll come back and join me for that and all the other Moorcock coming up. After the last of the Sojan stories, he published one short story in a science fiction magazine titled Peace on Earth. I'll cover that. And then his next work, not until 1961, a little bit of a break in there, is The Dreaming City, which is the first Elric story. So we're right away coming up on his most famous fantasy series. Be interesting to see if things really improve between 1958 and 1961. So come on back to find out, does Michael Moorcock become a better writer in only 2 years or 3 years? And leave your comments about Sojan if you've read it in the comment section of the video. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and join me